we're in for one heck of a race. It was chaos in Bahrain. I think just about 10 people finished in that race. And we have got a formation lap. And he's in.
I'm in.
I'm not commentating this alone. Adrian has gone for soft tyres.
It's a strat. Maybe he knows something the others don't know.
Maybe he does.
Just like how everyone knows that Oscar Piastri isn't signing for McLaren.
Exactly. So here we are. For the formation lap. We're about to come to an end. Adrian, most importantly here, pay attention to him, guys, because he's on the soft compound tyre. He is going to be, I can feel that he's going to be very aggressive in the opening laps of this Grand Prix. And they're not really the recommended tyres for the race. But let's see if you can make them work, as the pole sitter, SLR Charlie, with an incredible lap. The Division 3 champion looking to start off his Division 2 charge with a win from pole position. But he's got Jaylee Menz and Golden Fryer right behind him. And Bad Otter is the last to park the cars. And here we go. The main event of the weekend, the first race in Saudi Arabia. And we are underway.
Oh, this Menz bogs
Saudi
down.
Arabian Grand Prix, and Charlie gets a good start, and Fryer goes with him as they go through turn 1. Everyone seems to be getting safely. There's a few cars. There's a bit of contact at the back, but Golden Fryer is side by side with SLR Jack, and he's through as well. So Fryer getting the jump on the Alfa Romeo. It's SLR Charlie who leads at the front. Fryer up to second. We've got yellow flags already in sector 1. That is Sotia Clock, I believe. He's had a disastrous start. He could have been in Q3, and now he is down to P19. But Charlie leads ahead of Fryer. Jack gets dropped to 3rd. Raptor up to 4th. Adrian, despite being on the softs, is down in 7th place. So he's had a shocking start.
Menz, who went from P2 to P6.
Yeah, so just like Bahrain, Menz really struggling at the start, and that will definitely frustrate him as Bad Otto is out of the race. Bad Otto's had a crash. Primus Gaming as well, and we do have a safety car on the first lap, and that completely calms things down. And I did say before we started this race we would have a safety car or two, and that is exactly what has just happened here. And I need to turn on the
see what Adrian's doing. Is he going to pit for the mediums, maybe? Or is he going to stay on the softs?
Yeah, Adrian, well, this is a golden opportunity for him to pit. And that's exactly what he's doing. Yep. No brainer, absolute no brainer. But he's got a 5-second penalty. He's got a 5-second penalty. It's all unraveling for Adrian. He wanted to be more aggressive on the softs, and now he's been held back by 5 seconds because of a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And the team haven't stopped him for 5 seconds. A disaster. And hang on a second. I think that was a virtual safety car. That was a virtual one.
I didn't even realise.
I didn't realise it either.
Tell us.
We've both missed that one horribly. Cheers, game. Good game, Codemaster. But we press on. Golden Fire is right behind SLR Charlie. He's lost a lot of time in that VSC restart. As yeah, Adrian's race is pretty much ruined. He's got to make another pit stop to serve that penalty. And that is an absolute disaster.
Who's that? Primus Gaming at the back.
Yeah, Primus Gaming at the back as well. I thought he was going to be back in this race. I thought he was going to be back in the race because of a safety car. But turns out, that's not the case. Bad Otter, he had a qualifying ban, got disqualified and qualified, and he has not even completed the first lap. And that is a dreadful weekend for any league racer in any division, as we've got action towards the final corner. Legend versus Raptor, who's made up the most points out of anybody in the first lap, as he fends off the McLaren for the time being. McLaren actually has made up the most places. He's up into P11, but he's going to find it tough to get in the race because now DRS has been enabled, as Legend is still going for the Alfa Romeo of Jack, and Raptor still trying to hang on. They're side by side. Going down into turn 3, and there's contact, and they're both into the wall, and Menz sneaks his way through. is going on? And now Raptor's ghosting, and he's lost out badly. And I think he got damaged. Morgan, his teammate, barely squeezing through as well. And it's a disaster for South Raptor. Unbelievable, they made contact. There wasn't enough room. And that will definitely be a strict inquiry from the both of them. JD Menz has made up 2 places from that, as he looks to recover from a poor start. Meanwhile, out in front, SLR Charlie and Golden Egg Fryer are running away from the rest of the field, as we have a lovely camera shot here of this battle, as he's looking to go down the inside into turn 22. He thinks better of it. So patience is clearly in the AlphaTauri's vocabulary, as he's looking to attack him on the main straight. We've got yellow flags once again, and that is for Primus Gaming. So Ogween predicted a 1-2 for Aston Martin. Well, it doesn't seem very likely, as we've got action for the lead. Golden Egg Fryer overtakes the pole sitter, and he's into the lead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But Charlie's going to come back in, and he's back ahead of the AlphaTauri. So Charlie and Fryer going hell for leather in the opening 3 laps, as Legend is in the pits. And you've got a feel for him here. He was running in the top 5, and now he's going to have to drag those hard tyres at the end of the race. Same can be said for the man who collided with South Raptor, which is very unfortunate for him, as now I think we might see some DRS trains being formed at this stage of the race. Now it's time to save DRS. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. That's for the other. Oh, Primus again. He's having an awful race, and you've got a feel for him here. McLovin has retired from the session. Yellow flags, and now that is a proper safety car.
That's a safety car.
Yellow's in sectors 1, 2 and 3, and there you go. We've got a safety car, and now everyone is bunched up, and now this could change the trajectory of this race for sure. So now, will the medium runners make a pit stop here? Because if they pit now, they won't have to stop again, but you sacrifice track position. So maybe the runners on the hard tyre might be in a bit of a pickle here.
It would be ideal for them to pit for the hard tyres, because the tyres will be warmed up by the end of the safety car period. But
well,
no.
hold on a second. Charlie stayed out, Jack stayed out, Menz is in. Now this could be the call that will definitely get in front of the
but
field.
there's contact between Morgan and Morris on the safety car.
Morgan and Morris
5 seconds.
have made contact. They've made contact in the safety car, and they've both been awarded penalties. Danny D has a penalty as well. I have no idea what's happened here. We've lost 3 drivers already. But goodness me, Jenny Menz has come out in 9th place. So he's not far off Charlie as the Aston Martin of Leah, I think. There it is. No, it is. It's Primus Gaming. He's out of the race. SLR Leah, he's hit the wall, and he can hopefully get that repaired from his pit crew, and he'll find himself at the bottom of the field. But at least he'll have some sort of chance, a remote opportunity to score a point in this race. But lap 5, it's all kicking off, but we're going to try and calm things down now, as Charlie leads from Fryer in the safety car period. But Squirrel, I don't think we're far from over. It's far from over, for sure.
Especially with the races right now. We've got so many people hitting the walls, Aston Martin in particular. We've got good battles between McLaren and Mercedes, because we've got 4th and 5th and 11th and 12th right now. I don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, I don't really blame you. 5 laps in, and a lot more drama is set to unfold in this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. This is the first race of the weekend, and it's already stirring up a lot of drama and a lot of chaos. So, hope you guys are enjoying the race so far. Hope you enjoyed the qualifying as well, as much as we have. But it's been one hell of a race so far.
VPN now. I should go
But
back into the Div 4.
Sorry?
I should go back into the Div 4. I've got a VPN now. Oh, there's Morgan's in the pit lane.
Morgan's in. Now, the timing of this isn't really ideal, but now he's going to pit for a new front wing and a 5-second penalty as well. So that's not ideal, but it's going to take him towards the back of the field. I think he'll be ahead of SLR Leah. But at least he'll be able to go to the end of the race safely. And he will not have to stop again unless there is another safety car. And Danny D also has a penalty as well. He's got a 3-second penalty. So Danny D, the first person to get a penalty in this race for track limit, and we're only on lap 6. There's definitely more penalties and incidents to come as Leah in the Aston Martin dragging it into the pit lane. He's going to go for the mediums, so he will struggle towards the end of this race, but he will be able to get back out with a remote chance of getting something out of this race. It is a race of attrition, so don't count him out just yet. I'm definitely not counting him out, as the safety car is literally crawling through this banking section. It's definitely got to feel that way for the drivers, as the field is yet to be fully bunched up. Got Morgan at the back of the queue, and we're just hoping that SLR Leah can catch up without being slowed down by the game, as the safety car might be coming in at the end of this lap, and we'll be ready to get racing again.
Lap. Thank you, race control.
So, here we go. A few laps behind the safety car, and SLR Charlie, the Division 3 champion, is going to lead us on the restart. And the question is, when is he going to get going? Sounds a bit like a weird sentence, but we move. As Charlie comes around the final corner, the whole field pushed up. Hang on a second, Raptor's had a moment with the safety car. He's at the back of the queue. We're getting going again, and Jack has already passed Morris. So it's all kicking off right now, as we are racing again in Saudi Arabia, as they're trying to warm up the tyres, as there's most drivers. Some of them are looking to get to the end of the race, but it's Charlie in front, Fryer second, Jack third, jumping on the McLaren on the restart. Danny D is currently P5. Andrew up into 6th place. He's been pretty quiet so far, but the main person in this queue is Lee Menz, who pitted under the safety car and does not have to stop again. Now, he can take this quite cautiously, because he knows surely that the drivers in front of him and behind him all have to make a pit stop eventually, as Morley is looking to overtake his teammate, the master of the rage compilation, Andrew, down the inside into the banking section, and Lee Menz is looking to follow the sister Williams, and he's looking to pass Andrew round the outside. Surely he'll back out of it, and he does. That is not an overtaking opportunity, even if you want to.
Oh, what an exit from Menz!
And what an exit! He's on hard tyres, but he's definitely making it work. He's definitely heating them up, and he's ahead of Andrew, and he's up into 7th place. Andrew, there's not much you can do about that one, mate. You're going to have to back off and lose the position, and he's on the move here.
What?
Another overtake from Lee Menz. It's a P6
He's
in
got
this
these hard
race.
tyres all warmed up.
I'm surprised. I really am surprised, because they take forever to heat up. But Lee Menz is making them work. He doesn't. He's virtually a pit stop ahead of his opposition. As meanwhile, out in front, it's a 3-way scrap between Red Bull, Alpha Tauri, and Alfa Romeo. As further back, there's Morris, Danny D, Andrew and Legend are going at it through turn 2. We saw a collision with Morris and Raptor, but thankfully there isn't this time, as Legend gets ahead of Andrew. Andrew really dropping back on those hard tyres. He's really struggling to fire them up, like Lee Menz has, as up in front, Fryer is really pressurising Charlie here. He's going to go for a move, no he isn't, he backs out of it. And again, Fryer looking to be patient with his opponent, as Sotia Clock is the second person to get a penalty in this race. 3 seconds added to his time, and we're on lap 8. So if these guys can keep it within track limits, you'll have a better chance of getting highly elevated towards the end of this race. But Charlie is under a lot of pressure.
This Golden Egg Fry gets a really good exit there. He's going to go up the inside of Charlie.
And here he goes. Golden Egg Fryer looking to take the lead of this race. Jack, where can he squeeze through? He can't. He gets boxed in by the two fighting in front of him. And look at that. He tries to get a drive out of it, but there's nothing the Alfa Romeo can do. I can imagine him being frustrated here as Charlie and Fryer are side by side. And Fryer takes the lead. Can Charlie fight back around the outside? Going into turn 1, no. It is the Alpha Tauri who takes the lead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. He didn't get pole position, but he's looking to avenge that with a win. And Charlie drops down into P2. But this battle is far from over. As Jack in third. Morris is now caught up to these three.
Charlie has a really
there you go.
bad exit.
Yeah, Charlie's had an absolutely awful exit. He's really struggling now. He definitely might be feeling the pressure as Jack goes up the inside for the Alfa Romeo squad. He's up into P2, but Charlie is definitely not done with him. And no, he isn't. He is. He didn't quite get the run out of the banking section, and that has allowed Golden Egg Fryer to get away and pull a gap, which is crucial because these guys have to pit. And meanwhile, behind him, speaking of not having to pit, it's Jamie Ment on the move again. He's looking to overtake Danny D. He doesn't have to risk much.
There's the
he
run.
has got to go to the end, but he's got a brilliant run around the outside at turn 23. He's got DRS, but so does the Alpine. And the Alpine has no ERS. Already, his red light is flashing. And that means he is definitely in trouble. He goes wide through turn 27. And Menz has a chance to strike here. Here he goes. Is he going to make the move? No, he isn't. He hangs back. And there you go. Oh! And that might be a little bit easier for him. Danny D goes wide. And that has opened the door for Menz. A very opportunistic moment there for the Ferrari driver. Legend also squeezes through and says, thank you very much. I will take that position. Danny D losing 2 places. And that is very unfortunate for the Alpine as we've got 2 cars in the pits. Mash and Morgan as Morris gets a penalty for track limits. There you go, we've got 3 on a penalty now.
That opportunity for Menz to pit for hards has really worked out for him. He's making the most of that.
Definitely is. He somehow managed to warm up those tyres. And look at this.
There we go.
It's like
inside of Morris.
No one has an answer for him. It's like no one has an answer for him on those hard tyres. Morris is really struggling on his dying mediums. Menz is definitely not going to have a go at turn 22, but he might get a good run at turn 23, and he does. DRS open. Can he find a way past the McLaren? He's just going to pick left or right, and he's going to pick the left. And he goes down the inside into the last corner, and this should be job done, and it is. Morris doesn't put up much of a fight.
Morris come back at him.
He's coming back at him. Morris isn't quite done yet. He's doing it for the McLaren squad here, side by side with Menz. He doesn't need to fight Morris, but Morris is not having it. He says, I'm not going down without a fight, and he reclaimed P4. Meanwhile, Golden Egg Fryer. What's happened to Charlie?
Charlie's really slow. He's backed up all the way into Morris now.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Charlie. He was leading this race, and I think, is it front wing damage? His front wing looks pretty much intact. And yeah, once again, I think Charlie might just be struggling with race pace. He was struggling quite a bit with pace in Bahrain. He didn't really have the straight line speed compared to those around him. He's got plenty of battery, that's for sure, but I don't think he'll be able to utilise it as Jack has pulled away out of his DRS range. So Charlie, unfortunately for him, not really replicating the qualifying pace he had into the race. And these guys have to pit. So these guys are virtually going to be way down the order. And JD Menz is going to be in a perfect position for the rest of this race. And this is surely where strategy comes in. Leah, an awful weekend for Aston Martin. And there you go, they're not getting points, let alone a 1-2. So SLR Ogwin has horribly predicted a 1-2 for Aston Martin. They are not scoring points to start the weekend. And Charlie's down to P4, so he's definitely struggling here. It definitely might be damage. I have no idea what it is, but Charlie's really struggling. And Morris will take P3 after defiantly fighting JD Menz as well. So these guys are squabbling with one another. They've allowed Jack to have 3 seconds of advantage over them, and that means he's cleared the penalty range as well. So even if he gets a penalty, he might finish ahead of 1 or 2 of these guys, which is crucial for their race. Golden Egg Fryer enjoying life out in front. He's got 3 seconds to the next car, and surely he'll think about pitting soon.
Did Charlie just hit the wall? I think Charlie just hit the wall slightly there.
Charlie's definitely...
Menz slips through.
He's really struggling. He is really struggling. He's down to P5. He was leading this race after the safety car came in 6 laps ago. And now he has plummeted to P5 and he's under pressure from Legend, who nearly loses the back end going out of turn 22. That's how much Charlie's struggling here. Surely he's got to pit for hard tyres. Surely his tyres are off the cliff, or he's definitely got damage that we don't know of, because he is really struggling. As Fryer continues for another lap, so does Jack. So maybe these guys are trying to extend the mediums because they don't want to be on the soft, as JD Menz is closing up on Morris for P3 and he's through. Got the tyres up as Danny gets another penalty. That's 6 seconds now for the Alpine driver. Our plan is not coming into fruition at the moment. We've still got quite a way to go, but it's going to be tough for him to get into this race now, as Charlie is down in 5th place. As we've got yellow flags. Nice Sauter Clock, who's had a spin in the middle sector into the banking section, and yeah, he's not had a great weekend. He missed out on Q3 by the smallest margin, and unfortunately he's not going to get much out of it, as Raptor also has a spin in the middle sector. So some drivers really struggling to keep out of the wall through qualifying and in the race as well. Raptors had a bit of chaos already, as this is a huge moment in this race. Here we go. Golden Egg Fryer in the pits on lap 13. We've got yellow flags in sector 3. I don't know why that has not triggered a safety car, and Fryer's out in P10. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can heat up those hard tyres and get to the end of the race. But the problem is, he is a pit stop essentially, behind JD Menz, who was in an P1. WR Andrew gets a penalty for track limits, and that's the 4th driver now getting a penalty.
Yeah, you can tell the mediums are dropping off because Morris is now outside of Menz's DRS range. There's Morgan with a 3-second penalty.
Morgan gets a penalty as well. Charlie now has a chance to get back into the top 3. He was leading this race. I don't think he'd be too pleased with P3 as Morgan's out. Morgan's out, and we've got a safety car.
Oh, and Leah spun as well.
Leah spun as well. I think that's MASH.
Yeah, wrong one.
Wrapped. Yeah, no
Sorry,
worries.
sorry, Mash. Sorry.
No worries, we've got a safety car, and now that has ruined Golden Egg Fryer's undercut attempt. SLR Jack will probably be laughing to himself, and Menz has to make another stop. Menz is in. He's definitely going to have to go for softs. What tyres are these guys going to go for? Mediums. And surely that's the same set he had on earlier. Jack has gone for softs. Charlie has gone for softs. Legend has as well. And oh no, he's been held up. There's a double stack at Alpine, and that's going to hurt Legend as well. And he's definitely going to lose track position. But 3 drivers have gone onto the soft tyres. Golden Egg Fryer is probably the biggest loser here, because he won 3 seconds ahead of Jack, and he's going to be fuming when he checks the race director to find out. But no, Jack has just pitted for soft tyres to the end of the race, and that is a huge shame for Golden Egg Fryer. He's on older tyres. Of course, it's only by a lap, but 3 out of the 4 cars in front of him are on fresher tyres. 3 of them on faster tyres.
I'm a bit confused with why Morris is going for the hards.
Morris?
Yeah.
He was on mediums. I think he might have used all of his sets of soft tyres in qualifying.
No.
I think that might be the reason. So Morris is definitely going to be in trouble if he can't warm up those tyres like JD Menz did. JD Menz, speaking of him, he's had to go back onto the medium tyres that he started on during the race. So JD Menz's masterstroke of a strategy, it could backfire on him towards the end of the race if he can't manage those tyres to the end of the race. He's going to be quite vulnerable. SLR Charlie now can definitely see this and now say, hey, I definitely got a chance to get back on the podium. But he's got to clear these 2. Otherwise SLR Jack is definitely going to pull away. But another twist to the tail in this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix for sure.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. 10 laps to go. Charlie's on the soft, so you never know. Charlie's having a lot of good pace this weekend, especially getting pole. He's obviously saved 1 set of softs to this, hoping there was a safety car at the end. Charlie going for potentially the win if he can catch him. But Jack is also on the softs.
Jack crucially has track position over Charlie as he's ahead of those 2 on the harder tyres, as we see Danny D repairing a front wing and putting on a set of soft tyres. It look pretty fresh to me as he gets going once again. SLR Mash puts on a set of softs. These guys have got nothing to lose. They're 13th and 14th. But the main question is, can these soft tyres go to the end of the race?
That's the thing.
Because
when at the start
they
of the
might be
race,
quicker.
who was on them again? Adrian.
Legend. I think Adrian was on soft. Yes, he was.
Adrian's
soft
softs
at the
died
beginning.
off very quickly, and so did the mediums actually.
The mediums were dying off after like 11, 12 laps. So this could be a huge turning point in this race. Can the softs go to the end of the race? We saw from Adrian, he was lucky enough he could pit under the virtual safety car and put on a set of hard tyres before we really found out how good the softs are in race trim. So don't go anywhere. We've got 9 laps left, including this one. But we're in for a standoff finish here. SLR Jack in the Alfa Romeo, representing us Alfa Romeo drivers this weekend, lead the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix with 10 laps to go. CSC Morris is second. JD Menz, who went for the hard tyre earlier, can't put them back on, is in 3rd place. He was showing tremendous pace on those tyres. And we're going to find out how good his pace is, because we've got a safety car coming in at the end of this lap. We're in for one heck of a sprint race towards the end here, Squirrel. It's hard to call who's going to win this race.
Good question is, when will Jack actually go?
We've already had Rat to spin in the safety car. He can go whenever he wants to. Of course, he's not held under Delta.
He's gone.
And he has decided to get going. We are racing again in Saudi Arabia for a 9-lap sprint to the flag. It is SLR Jack who leads the way. Morris in second. J.D. Menz has already had it down the inside. And he's got it.
Oh,
Jordan has a bit of contact. And oh no!
Oh.
There's a huge pile-up. A huge pile-up at turn 1. Several cars involved. Oh no, you just knew it. And SLR Charlie is involved as well. Absolute disaster for the Red Bull driver.
What a dive from J.D. Menz. Oh, Charlie.
J.D. Menz. Oh, no.
Charlie was in prime position.
Charlie was in prime position to go for the win, but instead he has dropped down to P13. And his heart is definitely sank. You can feel it from here. And SLR Jack, meanwhile, leads with not knowing what happened behind him. J.D. Menz with a decisive dive bomb down the inside, moving it to P2, and he will have better tyres towards the end of the race. Legend has passed his teammate Morris, and Legend survived the pile-up at turn 1 as well. So,
We've got to pay some respects to Golden Egg Fryer.
Golden Egg Fryer as well. Yeah,
Down P14. Just noticed.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've just noticed that as well. That's a good call there, Squirrel. I've just noticed that. Golden Egg Fryer and SLR Charlie have definitely got their hearts sunk right now, because these two were definitely two of the favourites after qualifying to win the race. But it's not going to deter Charlie. He's going to carry on. He's going to try and keep pushing. He will be in the points, but he'll have little consolation to know that he could have won this race today. Andrew is in the pits. I can imagine him raging as well. So, whoever's in charge of the rage compilations, Chris, get on it.
Chris, get on it, lad. I want to see this.
So let's hope Andrew's streaming this race so we can hear his rage compilation in the next compilation video of League Racing Rage. As out in front, we're in for a standoff. I think things might calm down a bit, especially towards the front. For the time being, we're just going to let things simmer down a little bit, as Moley is going after ARL Predators in the Red Bull on the hard tyre. He's got SLR Mash right behind him. And SLR Mash was the first person to crash in qualifying, and he finds himself with an opportunity to finish in the top 6, and he's got a really good run on the Williams going through the straight towards turn 22. He can't do much about it. DRS has not been enabled yet, so he's going to have to do this on track, and it might be a little bit easier for, it might be a bit more difficult as Predators goes wide through turn 22. I think his red light's flashing. Yes, it is. He's got less than 10%. As Mash goes down the inside. No, he just didn't have. Oh no! Oh no!
Mash!
That is disastrous. He was looking at a points finish. He was looking at a points finish, and he's put it in the wall at the exit of turn 27. That is just disastrous for anybody. Oh no. After all that, he was 14th at the end of the safety car. He found himself with a chance at the top 6, and it's gone. And Charlie's in the pits as well. WR Andrew is back in the points, as Adrian in the Alpine goes down the inside of SCC Morris. I can't read clearly, it's CSC Morris.
I was about to say.
Yeah, brilliant reading for myself. You can tell I've done my English GCSEs, but Adrian moves up into P4, and he might be looking at a podium here. And we've got yellow flags. I think it's for Danny D. It is Danny D.
Oh!
It is Danny D. And that's caused another safety car on lap 19. In the words of Adam, we've got a safety car with 6 laps to go. Now, who has saved a fresh set of soft tyres? Because they could come in handy. Because we're going to be in for a sprint race. SLR, Jack and Menz, their lead over Legend has been diminished. So, another twist here. And who's going to box? Who's going to stay out?
They're both boxing.
And both leaders. Yes, they are. They're both boxing. They're all boxing. Adrian has stayed out, and so has Morris.
Menz has another set of softs.
Menzi
old
does.
They're fresh.
They're fresh softs. Oh wow, we're in for a finish.
Wow.
And he's ahead of Jack.
Oh my god.
Is he? No, he isn't.
What?
He isn't ahead of Jack. Unbelievable scenes. They're both on fresh softs. They're all on fresh softs. Softy and Clark looking to get back into this race. They're all on fresh softs. Andrew has stayed out. He's on older softs. So he's going to struggle towards the end. We're in for an absolute sprint race and a half here. And Raptor stayed out on hard tyres as well. And Danny D will crawl into the pits with a new front wing and set soft tyres on. What a race, action-packed. Azuzu, I could not have said it better myself. My first time commentating in this league. It's been one heck of a race to start the Saudi Arabian weekend.
First time commentary in this league.
Yeah, it is. It's my debut. It's
Welcome.
been one heck of a race. Thank you. Glad to be here. It's been one hell of a race. And we're not done yet. We've still got 5 laps to go. And literally, anyone can win this race. I thought JD Menz was going to win this race after the first safety car. But now, it could be anyone. It could be Adrian. It could be... Well, I was about to say it could be Morris, but he's got that penalty lingering over his head, which is not ideal. At 3 seconds. Danny D's got 6 seconds of penalties. So those the guys with penalties are going to find it very difficult to gain places as the safety car is bunching up this grid for a 3rd time.
Will the safety car restart be as hectic as it was last time?
I think it will. I think I'm expecting
definitely.
another pile up and a half
Definitely.
as
You
Andrew finally pits, and he has got no track position, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can make up any places. If he's involved in that pile up, I'm guaranteed he'll end up in the Rage compilation for episode 13. I'm calling it now. Golden Egg Fryer is on hard tyres.
Oh no!
That is disastrous. He doesn't have any other tyres, and he's on hards, and they're 4 laps old. AlphaTauri having a mare when one of their drivers could have won the race. Danny D is gonna get ahead of Mash. Yes, he does. Mash goes wide and then he puts in the wall. That would not be good. He's back down in 14th when he was looking at a top 6 a few laps ago. But Adrian, the man who started on soft tyres at the start of this race, the one I told you to watch at the start, is leading this race. But unfortunately, his tyres are 6 laps old already. He's got another 4 laps to go, and he's got at least 6, 7 drivers all behind on soft tyres who are willing to pounce. We've got one heck of a finish coming up here, guys. It's anyone's game here, Squirrel. It's gonna be a battle of attrition here. It's anyone's game, surely.
Like I said at the beginning in qualifying, just got to hit the apexes, keep it out of the wall, keep on track, and that's how you win this race.
That's exactly what we did there. Yeah, we did say that at the start. And it's a lot easier said than done.
Here
And
we
they've
go,
got to do
safety
it for
car's
4
in.
more laps. The safety car is coming in at the end of lap 21. Adrian for Alpine looks to make L plan into fruition as he leads the field ahead of the restart. Morris second. He might not win this race because of his penalty. SLR Jack is in prime position. He's got to clear these 2 guys before everyone else pounces on him. And we are going to get underway very shortly. And they are gone. We are racing once again in Saudi Arabia. And Morris, he's got nothing to lose. He's going for it, surely, into turn 1. He takes the lead of the race. Can he keep it? Can he make it stick?
Oh,
it's nearly 3 wide. It's nearly 3 wide. Someone's going to spin. apparently. They're nearly 3-1 going into turn 3. But it is the Alpine that leads. Jack goes off the track to pass Morris. Now that's going to create a bit of a traffic jam. Menz is having a look at Morris as well. Morris losing. He went for the lead. He ended up losing 2 places in the space of a corner. And JD Menz is definitely looking to pound South Raptor. Gets a penalty, and that's ruined his chances of getting points. And he goes round the outside into the banking section. You can see how much more grip he has through the corner. And that has allowed him to move up into the podium positions.
Adrian's looking really good off this restart, same with SLR Jack. But Adrian is 5/10 ahead of Jack. Can he keep it there?
He's got to
Here
try
comes
his
Jack.
best.
Here comes Jack. Way more grip than Adrian.
He's got so much more grip. He pitted under the safety car. I have once made this mistake in a league race in Baku. You don't pit under the safety car, and the result of that is you have several drivers on fresher tyres hunting you down, and they are smelling blood in the water as Legend has done so. He has passed his teammate for 4th place, and I think that was definitely communicated between the two, because Morris has no chance of winning the race. And speaking of going for the win, here he goes round the outside.
Oh,
in the turn 1, there's contact. There is contact. Jack leads. Jack takes the lead, but he had to do it by hitting the Alpine out of the way. Adrian's going to be fuming about that, and I think he'll be quite fortunate that he does not have front wing damage. But it's all kicking off here in Jeddah as Legend goes a little bit wider than he would have liked, and Adrian has gone a little bit wider than he would have liked. Track limits might be playing their part. It's all breaking loose. A Sauter clock, who was down the order earlier, he's looking to pass Morris as well. Morris, you got a feel for him here. He was going for the lead.
They're trading positions.
He was going for the lead. They are trading positions, they won't be for long. Sauter clock moves up into 5th place. And it's been a really good drive from the Alfa Romeo as Morris is really struggling. And ARL Predators is going for the move.
Mash is out.
Retired. Mash is retired. Surely Alpha Tauri having a mare here. Golden X Riders only 11. More yellows behind us in sectors 2 and 3. And that is Golden X Fryer. You could not write this race any more than you already could have. He could have won the race. He could have been on pole position. But now he is going home with absolutely nothing to his name. And that is one of the most frustrating things you could ever experience as a league racer. As meanwhile, DRS has been enabled and JD Menz goes free down the inside, but it doesn't work this time. There was a bit of contact and that's allowed Jack to run away with the race. And that's broken DRS, and that's exactly what that is exactly what they needed to avoid in the first place. As Andrew retires, someone get that in a race compilation.
Oh, it's Adrian!
And oh no! Adrian! Oh no! He was running second. He could have made it work, and he spun off instead with 2 laps to go. He's getting only 1 point out of it.
SLR League race I've ever commentated.
This is my first race, and it's all
Oh, you're
kicking
coming back.
off.
You're coming back for more, and you know it.
I know I am. But enough about me. We've got to focus on the action. JD Menz is looking to drain the battery to get into his DRS. He is catching. He is within a second. JD Menz has definitely been my driver of the race so far. Let me know who your driver of the day is in the chat. Because JD Menz has had one hell of a race, and he is not going to end with 2nd place. He wants the win, and so does Jack. We're going towards the final lap. We are guaranteeing our 2nd new winner in Division 2. As meanwhile, Sauter Clock, right behind them, is going after Legend. He's got a penalty, but he's got nothing to lose. And Legend has no ERS to defend, so this could be an easy move. It could be a 1-3 on the road for the Alfa Romeo squad. As an Alfa Romeo driver, I have to say, well done, lads. But Sauter Clock moves up into 3rd place. But out in front, we're in for a showdown here. It is Jack versus Menz. They both don't have a penalty right now. But one mistake now could cost them the entire race. We're in for one hell of a finish here, Squirrel. It's hard to call who's going to win this.
Daily Menz has been very good in this first sector, especially coming around his banking side in the second sector. As he gets another good run coming out of it. Half a tenth
He needs
there.
to keep. He needs to keep doing what he's been doing this entire race.
But he
Getting
goes a
the
bit
good runs,
deep.
and that is not that's exactly what he did need to do. And that's allowed Jack to have a bit more breathing space in this race. SLR Jack
Menz still has DRS.
looking for the first win for Alfa Romeo this season. He's going to get DRS. Molly gets past Raptor
Here
for
we
P8,
go.
but the fight for the lead is going to come down to the last corner.
DRS.
He's got DRS.
Jack's got no
He's got
DRS.
ERS.
There's Menz.
Surely. They don't have
Around the
DRS.
outside.
They're
Can he
around the
switch
final
back?
corner.
He's
Can he get the
close. They
switch
touch a
back?
bit.
Going into the last corner.
They're coming to the
It's
line.
going to be so close.
Menz
It's
is
going to be
full
Menz.
speed.
It's going to be Menz. They're going
It's
to cross
gonna
the
be
line.
Jack. Oh
And it's
my
SLR
God.
Jack.
Push.
It's going to be
Oh
Jack
my
who
God.
wins it. He takes the race by half a tenth. Jaylee Menz was so close, but SLR Jack wins it on the line. Legend will be on the podium for McLaren. Predators, who've been quiet all weekend, finishes fourth. But my God, what a race! And what a
That
way!
finish.
Unbelievable! Wow! What a way to kickstart the SLR Saudi Arabian Grand Prix weekend with an instant barn burner of a
Oh my
race.
God.
And this man, SLR Jack, delivers it home for the Alfa Romeo squad, winning the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
The smile on
lie
his
down.
character says it all. But the smile on his face in real life would be way bigger than that.
I can honestly feel relief for SLR Jack right now. South Raptor has left the session. He's fuming. I can't blame him. He's had an awful race. And I definitely think a lot of drivers here, Charlie, Fryer, they would definitely be wishing they were on the podium. SLR Jack takes an unbelievable win here in Jeddah. Jaylee Menz misses out by the closest margin of under half a tenth. LSW Legend finishes third. Predators from 13th finishes fourth. Sotia clocked fifth. Moley 6th, Morris dropped down like a stone in P7. SLR Charlie salvages P8, but it's what could have been race for him. Raptor 9th, and Adrian does collect the final point. And I've got to invite these guys to the party for the race interview. Unbelievable. What a race. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But we're just getting started here in Summit League Racing. Unbelievable.
Holy shit.
Right, mate, that's on stream.
Oh,
You can't say that.
Damn it! I forgot.
Alright, lads. If you guys could tick your boxes, that would be phenomenal.
Yep.
Skrill, I think you can go first, mate. With the
Yeah,
interview.
sure.
This interview third place.
Legends.
Hello?
How? Just how?
I mean, how?
You had a pretty shocking race. Like at the start of the race, it looked pretty bad, but after that second safety car, you came out of nowhere.
You gotta keep your head down. Just get it done. I mean, that's start the race. I don't know what happened between me and South Raptor, but yeah, just get my head down. So safety car kind of helped me with get the wings on, get the hards on. I felt comfortable on the hards, so I just get my head down. Teammate was massively helpful getting out the way, so yeah, credits to him.
Yeah, I saw a lot of swapping between you two, as one would be faster and then at other times you would be faster. It was really good play between the McLaren team right there.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say we're looking to get the joint constructors, but we'll see. It's only early doors, but we'll see what happens.
Oh well, congratulations on P3, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing more podiums from you with that late race pace you had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we solved this game. Coming into this game, first game I was rough as hell. But yeah, now this new patch, I'm finding confidence, so we'll see. But yeah, congrats on
That's
you
good.
to get the podiums as well.
Thanks for that, thank you.
Alright, we're going to move on to the man who finished second, Jaylee Menz. Jaylee Menz, it's another podium for you in Division 2, but you were so close to that race win. Can you just talk us through the race?
Yeah, up and down. I pitted on that first safety car for the hards. Thought I had no chance of getting the top, like overtaking Jeff or Charlie and Jack, so played that gamble. Made it back up through the fields safely, and then safety car again. I wanted to pit for softs, but the game for some reason put me on mediums. And then safety car came out again, so I pitted again for softs. And then, yeah, me and Jack had that close fight at the end. Well, I've basically got a GP2 engine because I have to ram the rear end up so high just so I don't spin like normal. I think I had like 10 more rear wing than Jack. So
yeah, you're 26.
Yeah, 26 rear end. So
well,
that's why I
Jaylee,
had no
congrats
chance.
on P2. Congrats on P2. I'm sure P1 is on the cards because you can't get closer than
Yeah,
that.
no. Well,
to a race
it was
win.
P2 in quali last week, P2 today, P2 in the race last week, P2 in the race today. So eventually, something different must come. I hope.
We get the win.
The win is definitely around the corner, Jaylee Menz, that is for sure. As we move on to our race winner, SLR Jack. Now, as a fellow Alfa Romeo driver in this race, I've got to say, get in there, you brought the points home. But what a way to do it. You didn't seem to be in contention until the second and third safety cars. So, Jack, a phenomenal win. You cut it fine at the end. Can you talk us through the race?
Yeah, I had good quali pace. Unlucky not to get the pole. I lost like a tenth and like 2 tenths in the last corner, but Charlie was really good in quali. But on the start, I had a good start jumping men's, which I thought was really, really helpful. Which with how it like turned out, probably won me the race and nearly got egg. But yeah, the VSC I was really stupid and I lost 3 seconds, a bit more than that. And yeah, so I was just trying to go as fast as I could. And, men's right behind me for the whole race, really, other than thing. But the safety cars, it did really help, managing to get ahead of Jeff, who really unlucky to him. He was rapid this whole race. Like, if there was anyone who deserved it more, it was definitely him. But yeah, the end, I think it was really, really close. Just getting past Adrian, it was really, really helpful. But men's just being so quick, even with his unbelievably high rear wing. He was still, really close to me on the last straights. He, in the same party as him, he said, "Jack, I'm going to dive bomb you, right?" And
Yeah, but then you went right up to the wall, so I had no chance.
So, Jack, with this race win, first win, do you think there'll be any more to come this season? Do you think you'll be mixing it up with the championship?
well, next track is arguably one of my favourites. I'd say that maybe Monaco, with my teammate as well. Sotia Clark really likes Monaco, so that could be an interesting one for the Alfa Romeo boys. But yeah, I can't really say much more than well done men's, well done legend, and I'm lucky to Charlie and Golden Egg Fry because they've had really bad luck there. But yeah.
Well, I did say at the start of the stream, it was going to be a race of attrition, and you've definitely, all three of you have done a great job to get to the end and get a podium. So the next race is going to be in Australia. Be sure to tune in for Division 2 action, Fridays at 8 PM. It's been a hell of a race here to commentate on. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you guys in Australia. Till
Cheers,
then,
guys.
take care,
See ya, bro.
and we'll see you guys
Cheers.
in the next one. Cheers, guys.